It's here. It's finally here.
Yay!
And wow, wasn't it nice that our address was blacked out through the magic of YouTubery? Okay, they're just all out there. You know what these are?
What?
These are the foundation of our next greatest creation.
What is it?
This is a 1 ounce tungsten weight, and this is going to be the foundation of the new bullet bug punching bait.
What?
Hey, welcome back, regular viewers. All right, so you already saw the little intro here. I guess this is the second intro, I guess. But I bought these tungsten weights, and I want to thank you guys for your support, all you regular viewers for your support, so I could afford luxurious, extravagant things like these tungsten weights. They are quite expensive, but I've been using them to punch mats recently with my Bellows Gill style lure, and they work. But while we were fishing those areas, we did notice one thing. The youngest regular assistant, myself, and the regular assistant did notice that there was small crayfish in those weeds on top of those mats, and we scared some off the mats. And, they were only, they were teensy tiny. Like, they're probably only about 2 inches long. So most of the crawfish imitations I had are much bigger than that. That Bellows gill did catch fish. You guys saw that video, I hope. And punching those mats with it did. But I was just curious, if I use something that is just teensy tiny, we're talking, 2.5 inches max, little crawfishy looking thing with not a lot going on with it, will that produce some fish? My kids last year got me a little hook and weight set, and I got these little tiny worm hooks that are fairly heavy duty for their tiny size. So with this big weight and this hook, we're just over 2 inches. And I had an idea. So as you know, I save junk. I'm a bit of a junk hoarder. I don't know what I'm doing with all that stuff over there. Stay, good boy. Maybe a year or two ago, I was making these weedless lures for topwater fishing for Christmas presents, right? We can link the description below. It was one of my more popular fishing lure videos, in fact. But yeah, if you're curious of how to make yourself something like this is a spoon for baking, a baking spoon. And I know it won't surprise anybody that I saved the pieces, right? I've been holding on to this for over a year, wondering what I was going to do with it. Knew I would do something with it. Well, wouldn't you know, that day has finally arrived. They are the perfect shape to fit in this 1 ounce tungsten weight little nose cone right here. Okay? And whoa, there's already markings on it. Yes, there are. Good job, astute regular viewers. The overall length of this soft plastic is going to be to this line right here, which is only going to be, what is that? About 1.75 inches, okay? And this extra line right here is where the hook is going to go to, and that's at 1.25 inches, like so. So I wanted to make sure that there was enough room for it. This is not a big old piece of plastic right there. This guy is about 1/4 inch wide, and it's going to fit right in here. All right, so I have a number of these hooks and a number of these weights. Also, I was looking at what sort of legs to put on our crawfishy type lure. I have this pile of garbage here. I made a crab style lure. I used crawfish claws and legs off of another lure. We'll link that video down as well. We made this crawfish lure, this crab lure, blue crab style lure for redfish. So any hoozles. But yeah, I used the legs and stuff, and I was like, that'll work, right? If we picture that, this is our piece over to here, we can take our little crabby claws and put those on the side, right? And, that's pretty significant claws on that thing. I'm trying to get something that's pretty subtle. And now, of course, the overall length of the whole animal there is right at 3 inches. That's a kind of intimidating looking claw. I don't want the little vicious fishes to be, you know, overly intimidating. But also, somebody else already made these claws. So, you know, I've used them before. I am just, I don't know. I kind of want to make my own thing. And then I thought about, what about just put the little legs on it, like so.
These ones?
Those ones, yes. These little guys on it, just to kind of have it, just have slight legs like that. Let me see if I could find some that are more symmetrical for you. Okay. So that's pretty unintimidating, I would say. And again, that gives it a length, overall length of where are we at?
I don't know.
2.5 inches, okay? But once you add the weight on the end, okay, now we're at just over 3 inch, 3.25 right there. Okay, so, but again, you know, I don't know, those are already mass produced, whatever. But so I had these, the youngest regular assistant got me a panfish tackle box for Christmas.
I did?
I thought you did.
I don't know.
Well, somebody did. One of you people did. And it came with these little guys right here. And we have used a couple of them. Thank you, young lady. We've used a couple of them to go fishing with and, you know, what have you. So I kind of looked at these right here and I thought, well, maybe this is the unintimidating claw. Obviously, I cut the tail off it. Maybe this is the unintimidating claw that I was looking for. It's really not going to do much. It's not really going to flap much. And it's going to be off at about that angle. Thank you, young lady.
That's like one of them.
Yes, I guess we can show the difference. Yes. Okay. All right. So we will demonstrate the difference. Okay.
Difference. Oh yeah, that one.
Okay. So that overall length, we're right at 3 inches with the weight. Now with this claw on here, we're out to about 4 inches. And again, I want to make this bait sleek and small to be able to punch through the grass mat and not scare the vicious fishes underneath. Maybe they're not too vicious then, if that's the case. Okay, so if we use that as our claw, we are at, if I can do this without moving things around, we're just under 3 inches, in fact, there. So I think that's what we're going to try. I'm going to put those in the mold. So I have a couple of them right here that I can cut up. I don't know. The youngest regular assistant keeps moving them around on me.
Sorry.
All right, let's take this out of the shot here.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to use these little guys as the claws because there's really not much to them. I don't want this thing flapping around a lot. I just kind of want it still. We're going to punch through the mat, jig it on the bottom 2-3 times, and then bring it back up through. An unintimidating crawfishy thing. These are a quick, dirty, and cheap way to do it. I can make them out of clay or air dry clay. But the other thing I'm trying to do is make this lure today and be able to use it, dry the mold, shoot the mold, and use it in 2 days from now. So let's get busy. All right, we're going to cut these down just a skosh here for the next step with a saw that works, hopefully. Not that one. Why am I keeping that? I don't know why. Anyway. Dunzos. All right, so I've been experimenting with my little hand lathe, we'll call it, with a piece right here, and it can be a lot of things. It's mostly a drill, but we chucked this up in here, and we kind of cut some grooves in it. We sanded down the snoot and polished it up with 320. I think this will work. All right, so we did call this the bullet bug, and that kind of does look like a bullet. So maybe we can make this work. Okay, now I'm back and excited again. I think we can make this happen. Okay, we're going to try one for real. That is the real deal in there. As I put it in backwards already, it's starting off to a solid start. Okay, let's put a couple grooves in it like we tried before, okay? All right, so we're going to try to use this as like a little hand lathe here with our little hands. She's going to press down on it and hold the trigger, and we're going to use our rotary tool to cut a couple grooves in it thusly. Let's make some guide marks for ourselves first, if I could find where I just put my marker away.
Sharpie.
Da, 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 da. Where is the marker? Let's have some music while we find the marker. I can't find it because I'm unorganized. Okay. Ready? Go. All right. There's
That's cool.
There's our marks. She thinks it's cool.
Ready?
For all the marbles. Go. Full speed ahead. Okay, now we're going to use our little tiny files to clean it up.
3, 2, 1. Voila! Okay, it ain't that perfect.
Okay, keep going.
3, 2.
Okay, go. All
Okay.
right, ready? All right, now we've got ourselves a mess. That's what we've got. That's a mess. Yes. Let's see if I can use the razor to clean it off. Okay. Now.
Let's play,
Okay. Next is 220. Then 320. Now we got to reestablish the marks here.
Guess that.
Beautiful.
Okay, it's not that perfect.
Okay. We kind of messed it up a little bit. It's not quite as, shelly looking as I wanted, but I think it'll be okay. Now we got to cut the end off. All right, beautiful. All right, we've got the overall shape we're looking for. Now we got to sand it down again. Okay, so that is our final product, I think. Let's measure it. Okay, we're just under 1 3/4 inches, but I think that will work. Where did we put the weight? Put the weight on there. And we've got the crawfishy deal. And we are at 2.5 inches. All right.
Yay.
That's what we wanted, kids. All right, where'd you put the little claw-y thingies?
Claw-y thingies.
All right, here is the claw-y thingies. So those are going to go onto there and to there. And that is going to be our teensy tiny little vicious crawfish's bait.
Teensy tiny?
Teensy tiny.
Oh, so huge.
Vicious crawfish's bait. All right, overall length is just under 3 inches. All right, beautiful. So I'll give you a more close-up view of the prototype here, and I just got to make 2 more of those just like it, and then we'll get to mold making. All right, clean that off. Next step, let's lay out our mold box. We only use here on the regular what did I show? Regular Guy Lures, yeah. The most made in America molds that you can make in America while you're molding here in America, molds that you made. We're going to lay out our mold box like so. I probably got to do it in there because that's kind of narrow. Make sure that it'll fit like so. Okay, so. Okay, I think it is going to fit. Hot dog. Just throw your mold locators wherever you please so you can't find them. Perfect. Will there be room for them? Yep. All right, I think that's enough horsing around. I was thinking about maybe using these pieces here to kind of maybe put a leg or two on it. I don't know. Maybe we make the mold. We'll see. Let's get to the mold making now. All right, regular viewers, and now the star of the show. You know him. You love him. Big round of applause. Plaster of Paris. And today's exclusive use of the regular mixer 2500. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I can't keep track of it. And I almost forgot the secret ingredient. Sheetrock tape. To help strengthen your molds all across the nation, use sheetrock tape. What is it called? What is this one? I don't know. I can't read it. Fiber tape? Fiber tape. It's the most fibrous tape. Actually, I don't want to put it in like that because I don't want it just on the bottom. There we go. Like that. Using your crab fork that you borrowed from your wife's kitchen. Get that down in there. And play the game I like to call Get the Bubbles Out. With your Get the Bubbles Out brush. And then, what are you saying, regular editor? She did walk by. She just didn't want to sing it. Get the bubbles out. Get the bubbles out. Get the bubbles out. Get the bubbles out. Will we get the bubbles out? Get the bubbles out. And now for all the marbles. Let's go ahead. Put these dogs in the worst. Oh gosh! Good golly, gumdrops, ladies and gentlemen. I really want it to be just half the mold. Okay, so I got my little tungsten bullet weights out here in the al fresco paint booth, and you can't shake a paint can, by the way, and hold the phone at the same time. It doesn't work. But we are going to add a little bit of red to these. These are, as you, I don't know if you can pick it up here, but they were like a pumpkin-y green color. So I want a little red on one side. Okay, that was a little red. All right, our mold is dry enough for the next step. I did add this little piece of plastic right here just to act as a sprue channel. I thought I might have tried. I didn't want to have to drill down that far to the sprue here. Oops. Oh, go grab that, please.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Thank you. All righty. Let's
paint. Okay, like we're painting. So
okay, hold your horses, kiddo.
Don't get too much in there. Don't get too much.
So we're putting this petroleum jelly on there to act as our mold release. We need our heat gun.
Too bad it's not our sponsor.
All right, come around here, baby. Can you plug that heat gun in, please?
Today's sponsor is heat guns.
Right here, sweetheart.
Oh, sorry.
That outlet right there. Okay, so We just applied a liberal amount of petroleum jelly to our mold, and it will leave lines in your mold masters. Now you can rectify some of that with a heat gun here. So
today's sponsor are guns.
Okay, just like that. And you can see it kind of cleaned it up, made it shiny again. Now you got to give that a minute just to cool off, because if you just pour the plaster right on it, all that liquid, what is that stuff? Petroleum jelly will come up to the top of your mold. Putting in the joint tape on this side.
Do we need this anymore?
No, I'll put it away.
Just throw the gas.
Okay, why don't you go wash this away? Please wash that out. Okay, press that in there. Add strength to our mold. All right, we should be pouring tomorrow. All right, everybody, let's open that mold. Yay! Just me, okay. Nice. Very nice. Well, there you go. Not too bad. Some little chunks in there. Good. Just going to clean it up a little bit and get it ready. And then we're going to dry it. Then we can shoot this dog. Carving out these little channels, make sure that plastisol can flow into the claw areas. Hey, there's a good looking mold right there. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, now we're going to dry them. All right, so I have my molds out here in the alfresco shop out in the driveway on the hot pad, or the hot plate griddle thingy. I got it set to kill all the way up to 400 degrees. I started putting it out here, especially when there's no threat of rain. I just, never felt comfortable leaving it in the garage plugged in, not watching it. So that was a bad idea. So pro tip, watch it if you're going to be using the griddle. But I put it out here. Yeah, the air moving across it, will cool it off for sure, but it will dry out faster, and I don't have to worry about it setting on fire. If it does, it won't set anything on fire in my house, which is super important. But this is the quickest way to fully dry out these molds. These were done last night. This whole project, just so you know, I started this last night, I want to say around 4 o'clock, and I had this mold completely done by 6:30 or 7. So from the time I started building these little shapes to pouring and pouring both sides of the mold, not that long. So here we are the next morning, and now I'm already cooking these. If you just let them sit, if you take them out of the mold and let them set and dry, for a day or so, they'll be absolutely perfectly dry. But if you just let them ride on this for about an hour, then that will really draw the moisture out of them quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right, so we got these carved or dried out now. You can't hear it, but you can feel it for sure. Let me just carve out a little bit here. Okay, there you go. All right, we need to cut our sprue hole into it. We will be using our step drill. How far would that go?
You said you wanted the pen?
Nope.
Oh, the marker.
So we draw a relatively straight line up and then put a spot on it, spot on. That way we can locate where we need to drill here in just a moment with our step drill. I want to clamp it up when I do this so that there's no motion going on. That's going to mess up our drillage. Okay. Stand back, everyone.
And back.
I always feel when it punches through.
It was a long run.
Like ice fishing. Yep, there we go. Beautiful. Now we need to expand that hole on top for our injector so it fits that. Okay, now we're going to expand the hole right here to accept our injector. Waste not, want not. Okay, perfect. Look at my no hands. All right, that'll do just fine. Gonna seal this mold so we can use it. All right, today we're using our Ozbang UV resin because it's the Ozbangiest UV resin in all the land. All right, I have found that UV resin is the bestest way, the most bestest way to seal your plaster molds and give you that nice shiny machined aluminum finish without having a machined aluminum mold.
Yeah.
So we shall, without further ado, come here, young man. You're going to paint that side and I'll paint this side with the UV resin, okay? So I'm doing this side. This side had bubbles in it, imperfections, and did you just bonk your head on the camera?
Sorry, folks. That was my fault.
All right, now they all got a headache.
Oh, boy.
But you can use the UV resin in a plaster mold like this also to fill these cavities of imperfections that you may or may not have made because of bubbles.
Is it good to paint the outside edges of this like that?
So, yeah, the flat surfaces, we want to paint those as well in case there is overspray or
Flashing?
flashing. It's okay if it puddles up inside your mold a little bit because this plaster is thirsty now that we dried it out, and it's going to suck it in a little bit, which also helps add strength to your mold.
Yeah, but I have a joke that the regular viewers will enjoy.
Yeah, lay it on me, Slick.
So I once was walking to go fishing. So I go to a bank and I ask, "Excuse me, you know any good fishing spots here?" And they said, "This is a credit union."
Did you catch anything?
No, I went back, but I did go back with lots of cash.
You did? Where'd you get lots of cash? The oyster bar. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I got lots of cash from the same bank. I didn't steal it. Nope.
What are we even talking about anymore?
The joke.
Okay, so I'm making sure now there's no puddles down in the mold, but I'm keeping the imperfections full of UV resin. And then these sprue, or what are these thingies called? The alignment thingamawhatsits.
The locators.
Locators. Why can't I think of words today? You want to make sure that it's not ponded in there because that will take away here. Put that down for a second, kiddo. That will not allow. That will make sure that your mold doesn't fit together. So I'm painting the top of mine as well. We'll paint yours in a second with this UV resin because you do get a lot of flashing on the top. Okay, this one is pretty well completely dry now, which is good. That's what you want because it's soaked in and it's really going to harden that layer of plaster. And then we can always add other layers to it that'll give it that real nice gloss finish. All right, we're going to put this out in God's UV chamber and put a couple more coats on it, and then we'll be ready to shoot. All right, regular viewers. So, well, we're back here. I'm still waiting for the molds to set up in the sun. And while I'm doing that, I was just replacing some hooks on this lure we found here. I put a clear resin coat on it with some Sparkle Farkle for the boy, the eldest regular assistant. So I'm going to put some hooks back on it for him, load that up for him. While I'm doing that, though, let me show you one of the submissions we got through the email. Our email address is magically appearing right here. And one of you regular viewers has been doing some cool work with plaster molds, and I'd like to show you that. Those are cool little white curly tails that he made. White curly tails always catch fish anywhere in the world, and it's always a great selection. But they just came out so cool, and just very proud of him for trying it. So I hope you guys are trying it too. Make your own lures, make your own molds, that kind of stuff, and get out there and enjoy fishing. So now that this part is done, let's get back to the project at hand. All right, we are going to set up to pour this mold. I am going to put aluminum tape around it to prevent or restrict any flashing. That is like one of the best inventions I've come up with in a long time. All right. Numerous clamps to maintain pressure all the way through. Like so. Whammo slammo. Let's get our color ready. All right. First color, red craw. Crawfish candy. This one is our regular home brewed color here. All right, let's see how our mold came out. I love this flashing reducer idea. We still got some flashing, but it slows it down enough that it doesn't just keep on pouring out if your mold is not perfect. Ooh, that's right, people. This is a two-tone, two-color, dual injection, or dual color without a dual injector. Green and red. This is the color that I see in my area for crawfish. It's like a greenish brown. Well, that kind of becomes a more brownish, and then a reddish kind of brownish on the bottom. Cool. How did this one? Does this one work? This one sort of worked. I didn't get all the way to the bottom. I don't think I got the third. No, I did not get the third one. Nope, that's okay though. We can try again, but I did get two of them. So I had already checked to see if the mold works. I know I didn't take you guys on that journey, but I will show you how we do this dual injection with a single injector, or dual color with a single injector. Sorry, I'm just having fun picking the flashing off, I guess. I need to get over it. Okay, let's go put those ones away. Okay, so let me show you what I'm doing to do this. It is imperfect because this is just a homemade setup here. So I have a piece of aluminum tape, and I am sticking it on my mold like so. Squeeze it together, and it separates the mold. I don't think you can see that way down in there, but it separates it basically into two molds. Did it come apart? No, it still works. Okay. Put on our flashing reducing tape as well on the outside, all the way around. Beautiful, like so. And clamp that dog up. Clampity, 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 stampity. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Clamp. Clamp, clamp, clampity clamp. All right. Okay, my red is ready to go. More so than my green. So that is the color we're going to go with first. Because form follows function. All right. Injectaroo in there. And let her cool. All right. We kind of want these a little warm for this next process here. Okay. And there is our half of worms, right? Or lures, whatever you call them. I don't think anybody still... Does anybody still call them rubber worms? Is it just me? Am I stuck in the past with everything else in my life, too? Should probably use this side. Those came out real nice. We'll save these, see if we can do that side here in a minute. Okay, so save the pieces. Slap her back together. Flash reducer installed. What a hokey setup. No way any of the big channels would do anything like this. It's okay. We're just regular, and I'm okay with it. We're just going to pick away at our regular pace, doing our regular thing here. All right. Green. Mean green. All right, let's see if it worked. It is a little difficult. This mold is a little small for this, I think. But enough excuses, regular guy. So yes, I see I'm still getting flashing, but without that aluminum tape on there, when you're trying to pressurize your mold, it'll just pour out. There'll be nothing to slow it down. It's like the national debt. It'll just keep going and going and going. Did we get all three? Hot dog in pajamas. Look at that. Yeah, it sets right in the mold again. Look at that. Whammo. Slammo. Red and green. I love it. I gotta do that a couple more times there. Have enough to go fishing with tomorrow. So our project is pretty well at its conclusion. We've got our little crawfish here. And we've got our weights. And now you can see why we made two-tone weights to match the two-tone baits. Wow, that rhymed. So here's how we're going to rig this today, hopefully in the right order. We're going to put our 1 ounce weight onto our line, like so. And then we're going to take our little hooky-doo, and we're going to tie ourselves a little polymer knot. This may actually be too small. Yep, you're not going to be able to tie a polymer knot. This is a 50-pound test fluorocarbon. And it is a little too tough to... Well, that's because the area we're fishing here is really rough with brush and concrete and stuff like that. So we need something pretty highly abrasive resistant. So I'm going to do the old twist knot here, if I can get this hook to cooperate and stop hooking myself. It's a great way to break your scissors, apparently. Sorry about the delay there. I stuck myself pretty good with my little hook. Very nice. Professionalism. Why start now? Okay, so that's our basic rig right here. We have these peggets, and this acts as a stopper for your weight, which is essential for punching, because otherwise your weight will just sit in the, or your lure will just sit in the weeds when the weight goes through it, and that is not going to help you out. Let's see if this one will stop with one. Sometimes you need two. Sometimes you need to go the right way. How about that? Super good at this on camera. I swear I can rig these things. I just can't seem to do it when I'm trying to do it on camera. Love it. There it is. Okay. There's our little peg. Yeah, this one has a much narrower channel than the other one. Perfect. All right. So we can cut off the excess. Now we've got our little crawfish, crayfish, depending on what part of the country you're from. And I want it red side down, so I will go this direction with it. How about I do it on camera? You got one job, guy. This takes so much longer to do this on camera when you're trying to keep it in focus and in the shot. Okay, bring our little weight down. Now we can twist our weight around to the red side. So there you go. We've got our two-tone crawfish and our two-tone weight to go with it. And the whole package is pretty tiny still. I like it. That is exactly what I was trying to go for right there. So this should be able to punch through these heavy grass mats with ease, relative ease, and get down to where these fish are. And I'm hoping that this, which appears to match the size of the crawfish that I saw sitting on the weed mats last time we were out fishing. So I'm hoping that will entice some more bites. It's kind of got that TRD, you know, not a lot of going on with it, straight worm kind of deal. So hopefully it won't be that intimidating. But that's all I got here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you join me on the water for the next segment here, because next you're going to see if we actually caught anything. And we're going to do our swim test with it. So thank you so much for tuning in this week, and you stay regular. You see it?
Yes, sir.
Just falls right through all that cover there. So we make a lot of little casts to an area like this. Just let it sit for a second and then pick it back up. Right, of course, when we put the camera down to call the regular editor and the youngest regular assistant is when I catch the bass on the homemade lure. But there it is. He's right by that big stump over there. He hit it right when it hit the bottom and took off. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Sir. Big old fish in that weed mat right there. don't know if that was a small alligator in that weed mat. Or something like right on the surface in there. It went under now. I can't see it anymore.
Start seeing something walking along the bottom. And we'll know what it is.
I don't think we'll see anything walking along the bottom. A snake in there? I think that's a snake right there. Oh yeah. Look at that guy. Look right on the camera, kiddo.
Ooh.
You don't see that?
Hey.
That was not an alligator. That was a slippery serpent.
Silly serpent.
Silly serpent.
Silly serpent?
Yes, we'll be moving on from the silly serpent.
I want to be near him right now.
Goodbye, silly serpent. There we go. There we go. There's one more little guy. And that little bullet bug right there. Pretty cool. Right on that bullet bug. Thank you, sir.
It's true, though, that the garter are active. That means the other fish are active.
There's a bigger one right there. See that one?
Oh, yeah, I see him. Oh, he had it. I caught it on camera as well.
There's another one over here. Right? This guy here.
Hey, you got him. Well, you had him for a second.
There we go. Bullet bug down in his mouth. Outstanding. Sir. Little guy hit so hard. Way up on. He's not even 6 inches. My goodness. Little guys.
Forget
Hey, what are you kids doing?
it.